What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the CrownHoops Podcast. We are on to episode number 46 now. My name is Jordan Daly. With me this week, again, we have the full crew. It's very rare we do this back-to-back. Mike White, Stacey Collier, and Ben Okazawa. Say what's up, guys.
What's up? What's up?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
are-
usually my fault, so I'm glad to be here.
Going back to back.
We are deep into NBA playoffs now, looking at the conference finals. We got Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics, Heat. So we got to catch up on that a little bit. We're going to start with the Lakers Nuggets to start off. Lakers up 2-0 against the Nuggets after AD hit that buzzer beater to get them game 2. Mike, we're going to start off right with you wearing that Mamba shirt, you Laker pride man.
Hey, look.
How you feeling about the Lakers?
Job's not finished, as a once famous legend said at one point. Job's not done, but hey, man, this is what we brought AD here to do. We brought him here. This was a question a lot of people had about AD. Okay, we see what you could do in the regular season. What you're going to do when the game counts on the line in the playoffs. And hey, look, we saw what he did. Knocked down a big shot. The Nuggets, as they've been calling them, the comeback kids all playoffs. We had a 16-point lead. They came back, even took the lead at one point. Jokic hit a little shimmy jumper over AD that looked like it was going to be the win. But look, man, we came back down, knocked down a game winner, and that's just as a championship team, or if you're going to be a championship team, these are the type of wins that your team needs to get. It's not always going to be blowout. Sometimes you're going to have to hit a shot in the clutch. Sometimes it's not going to be a LeBron. It has to be that other guy. And tonight it was AD's turn. So, hey, look, I'm proud of my guys. We did what we were supposed to do. Look, I said this to a few close friends, but I'm gonna say it on here, and y'all got me on record, man. I don't look. Don't judge me what I'm about to say right here, but I'm afraid this could be a sweep. Now, look, I understand who the Nuggets are. I understand who they beat. I understand they took out the Clippers, but I got a little feeling that this could be a sweep, man. I just don't like. I like in our favor how we match up with Denver, but that's all I'm gonna say on that. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, two things on that. One, did you see what Anthony Davis said after he drilled the shot?
Oh yeah, which one? Which part are you talking about though?
When he screamed Kobe.
Of course, that's what you gotta say when you wearing the Black Mamba jerseys. You gotta say that.
Yeah, that's what it's all
that
about.
was awesome. Yeah, I think he said in the interview after the game too, they were like, "What motivated you to hit the shot?" And he said something like, "We're not gonna lose in these jerseys."
Hey, can't do it. 3-0 so far.
Yeah. And then secondly, in reference to your sweep comment, I do have to step in and defend Matt Huff for a second, our loyal listener.
My boy Matt, what's good?
I think he said it on Twitter or Facebook. He said, "Listen, we're only 2 games away from 3-1. And you know what happens after that."
You know what? That's I
yeah. About that, Matt. Got some bad news for you.
Man, not possible for the Clippers. You guys see no chance?
For our comeback, I don't see it. With the Clippers and the Nuggets, you knew one advantage was going to be there every night. You know, the Clippers have nobody to really guard Joker. When it comes to the Lakers and the Nuggets, I mean, you got AD there, you got Dwight, you got McGee. I mean, say what you want, even if you want to consider Jokic the best big man in the league, that's a lot of body for him to go to, pause, all night long. 3 people. Pause again. Like that's a lot to go through. That's a lot to defend.
Hey, careful you don't get fined like Jokic there, Mike.
Hey, look, I'm just saying. Look, I had to make sure the pause was in there. But like I said, the Lakers are built on size, and that's what they do. They make it tough on him. I mean, he had a great game last game. Jamal Murray got involved, and they still ended up losing, man. So when your best 1-2 punch is pretty much. It's not like they're not stopped. I wouldn't say they're struggling, but when you have a team that can actually guard that, and that other 1-2 punch you're going against is LeBron and AD, which I feel they have no answer for. They haven't shown me. I haven't seen an answer for LeBron until he played his first bad fourth quarter the other night. The only answer for LeBron is himself. If he's off, he's off. I just don't see him matching up with him. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, it might be a sweep, dog. Sorry.
So you got Mike calling a sweep here.
Just to jump in on that quickly, like on the flip side of what Mike said, Jokic cannot guard AD for his life just because he's not quick, he's not agile, he's not quick laterally, he can't defend AD. So that's kind of the flip side of AD being able to body up Jokic, Jokic cannot body up AD. Pause. So that's the biggest issue in this series is I think Jokic cannot guard AD. So that's where they're really losing out the Nuggets.
So we have Mike calling a sweep. Ben, how many games is this going and who gets it?
This is what I said before the series had started, before the Nuggets had actually made it to the Western Conference Finals. I think it ends in 5, but it very well could be a sweep. This just feels different from the Nuggets Clippers series in the sense that this is LeBron, and LeBron in the playoffs is a different monster than anyone we've ever seen, other than Jordan. So,
Stacey, what about you? How are you feeling? How many games is this going?
I originally said 5. Now I'm waffling between 4 and 5. It's just the Nuggets are simply outmatched. This is a bad matchup for them. Like we already mentioned, Jokic cannot handle AD on offense or on defense. And also the Lakers, they got bigs, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, who, for one, not afraid to step out to that perimeter to get to Jokic. And they are very physical. They come in the game with great energy, and Jokic can't handle it. Jokic is a finesse center. He's a finesse center. He's not that physical. That's something he's gonna have to work on in the future. And the thing that troubles me, the things that made me think about this gonna be a sweep is the Nuggets threw out their best punch in game 2. They threw out their best punch in game 2, especially in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter where Jokic stepped up, and it simply wasn't enough. It simply wasn't enough. I just think this is a bad matchup for them. Like they had the advantage versus the Clippers. No, nobody could guard Jokic and nobody can stand in front of Murray. But you got the Lakers here who are playing as a team. They're playing as a whole. They highly motivated. They want the title. They want the championship. And it's just a bad matchup for them. As far as the Lakers, they have to continue doing what they're doing. I would like to see AD dominate early in the game. Like he on the first half, he finished with only 9 points. Then he exploded in the second half. He got to get used to being both halves. He got to dominate the whole game because nobody in the playoffs left, no team left has a player that can guard Anthony Davis one-on-one. So he has to dominate. As far as LeBron, I like how he started the game. Of course, we know he fizzled out later on. And I kind of don't mind that in a way because y'all know I've been on board saying that this run by the Lakers is not even about LeBron. It's about AD and everybody else. And LeBron just going to do what he has to do in the game, however he see fit. So all in all, the Nuggets in trouble. And it's not going to be a 3-1 comeback this time. I'm sorry. I think it's pretty much a wrap for him now. I think it's pretty much a wrap for him.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, but not too crazy. I'll still say the Lakers win it, but I'll give them 6 games. I think the Nuggets have a lot of fight left in them. I don't think they're going to go down easy. We saw it in game 2. They kind of came back a little bit. I think they were down 9-10 points towards the end, and they came back to that final push where AD unfortunately put the dagger in them. But no, I still think the Nuggets got a lot of fight in them. I think they'll take a few games. But yeah, I'll say Lakers in 6, and that's kind of a generous number I'll give them, but I'll give it to them. But we'll move on from the Lakers Nuggets, go on to my guys, the Celtics versus the Heat. Obviously, the Celtics went down a quick 2-0 to the Heat. Kind of stunning for everyone around here. Celtics had a meltdown after game 2 in the locker room, lots of yelling going on. Kind of wanted to get a quick opinion from you guys. What do you think's going on in that series? I know everyone here, I believe, predicted the Celtics last episode when we first covered it. I'm curious to see what kind of changed for you guys. You guys still leaning that same direction? What's changed for you? Ben, we'll start with you this time.
Well, I called Celtics in 6 at the start of the series, which is the same thing I said for the Raptors series, as much as I wanted to be wrong. But, man, I mean, I was surprised that the Heat jumped out to that early 2-0 lead. It was Jimmy Butler. I mean, Tyler Hero had made some clutch shots in both of those games. Bam, of course, steady presence down low. And Duncan Robinson as well, especially his game 2 performance. He came out firing, and I love that he's not scared to shoot because that's what he's on the court to do. He's not on the court to do anything else but shoot the three. So for him to just come out firing on all cylinders like that is exactly what you want to see. So I mean, I was impressed with the Heat the first 2 games, and I think it was kind of funny to hear about the Celtics. Marcus Smart was in the bathroom, apparently still yelling to the locker room. But it seems like it worked out. You know, that could go one of 2 ways. You could absolutely collapse after a fight like that, or maybe it's just you hashing the stuff that you need to hash out, and it makes you stronger for the next game, and it gets you ready for the next game. So it looks like it motivated them. They got Gordon Hayward back now too. So I mean, Celtics and 6 is still a possibility, but I mean, I'm hoping the Heat put up a fight here because I just love Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero.
So you still have Celtics in 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, how you feeling about this?
So I predicted Celtics in 7. Same thing, same way I felt before, same way I feel now. I feel like Boston just has that much talent. Now you get Hayward back. You're at another guy who can randomly give you 25 to 30 at any random night. So, I mean, first game went to overtime. It was a tough fight between the Heat and the Celtics. That's okay. Game 2, Celtics came out sluggish. Didn't have really the energy, didn't match Miami's energy at all, which is, to me, why they lost that game. And that's why you get an outburst from your energy guy, from Marcus Smart, from the passion on your team. And as we could see, they came out in game 3 and took care of business as I expected them to. Like I said, the Heat are a great story. They've been good. Jimmy Butler has definitely shown that he can lead a team in the playoffs. But there's such a talent discrepancy there. And like I said, the Heat are deep and they got a bench. But you got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, and Gordon Hayward. There should be no reason you lose this series, even though I think, like I said, the hottest team in the playoffs can also be one of the most dangerous teams. And I think in the East, that's where you have the hottest team, and that's the Heat. So I still think it's going to go 7. I still think it's going to be a dogfight down to the end. But I'm still rolling with the Celtics, man. They just got too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think last week when we recorded, I think I said Celtics in 5. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna change that to Celtics in 7 now. Yeah, obviously the first 2 games were very, very tough. They were all pretty much close. The biggest thing with the Celtics is they'd go up 15, 20 points earlier in the game and they'd blow that lead. And I think that was kind of their downfall. I think people really underestimate the return of Gordon Hayward as well. Gordon Hayward, while he may have not shown up so much on the stat category, does a ton. And I'm going to tell you this. Having Hayward on the floor instead of Semi Ojeleye is a huge, huge upgrade. Just to have him on the court, the defense needs to pay more attention to him. Plays can be run. He makes higher IQ decisions. He's not afraid to pass out. He's not afraid to kind of have that team-first mentality. Semi Ojeleye tends to play a little bit timid, a little bit afraid, and defenses can kind of give him some space because, let's be honest, he's no LeBron, he's no Curry, he's not going to be doing anything spectacular. And neither is Hayward, but they still need to give him that courtesy. Hayward can hit a shot. They need to give him that. Looking more into it, I think going down 2-0 and having that blow up in the locker room was also a huge benefactor as well. After that blow up in the locker room where they all kind of got to get everything off their chest and kind of yell at each other for a little bit, all of them went to the press conferences and pretty much said, Marcus Smart needed to do that. We needed to hear that. It helped us get to become a much stronger team. And today I was seeing videos of them and all of their families having a pool day today at the resorts. So it seems like that's kind of all in the past. They're looking forward to hopefully beating this Heat team in 7. One of the biggest things, though, that I need to come into question, my dad's been telling me this for the past 2 years, never wanted to listen to him, never wanted to agree to it, is the coaching. And this series has really, really opened my eyes to it. I kind of started questioning against Toronto, but in this series, I'm really, really questioning it. Brad Stevens, great coach when it comes to building a team and kind of making guys come out of nothing, which we saw in the Isaiah Thomas era when he was able to get us to the playoffs with that ragtag team, which was just incredible, and kind of developing those young guys. But now that we have a big roster, and we saw a little bit last year with Kyrie, the question kind of comes is, can he manage all of that? Or is it kind of too much for him to deal with? and questionable decisions coming with defense and not being able to wait to fight off a zone defense when we had the ball. We saw it with Toronto when they were running the box. We just couldn't find a way to get past a zone defense, and it was just killing us. And looking at some questionable substitutions he made where later on in the game we could have used a really big rebound and we took out Tice fouled out and we put in Brad Wanamaker instead of Rob Williams, who's been getting boards this playoffs and getting shot blocks, and he's been incredible on the defensive end. And we put in a little guy in Brad Wanamaker, which he immediately realized he screwed up and he threw Grant Williams in instead. But just a lot of questionable decisions by Brad Stevens, in my opinion. I really hope he can kind of turn that around. It just makes me wonder if the extension he just signed will last. I believe the Pacers gave an extension to their coach, but once they lost, they fired him, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, if the Celtics cannot make it out of the East, I really would not be surprised to see that. At what point do you say, like, okay, we should have made it out of – like, if you look back, we don't have to play the Bucks. If we can't make it out of the East this year, there is something wrong, especially with that group of guys. And that's not any discredit to the Heat. The Heat are a great team. But before this series started, when we were all looking at this matchup, it was like, come on. So that's just my kind of 2 cents on that. Stacey, how are you feeling about this matchup?
All right. Originally, as an analyst, I picked the Heat in 7. I picked the Heat in 7, and especially in the first 2 games, they showed me why I picked them in 7. I just think that as a team, they just playing better than the Celtics as a team. Like, everybody know what they're supposed to do. Everybody know what their job is. They have tremendous leadership in Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo has been incredible. I seen Duncan Robinson hit 3 threes early in the game. Tyler Hero, he's not playing like a rookie. He's playing like he's been there before. And they just, and like Mike said, they just hot. And when you run up against a team like that, then it's going to be a problem. Even though the Celtics, of course, they are more talented, but their camaraderie, their team focus, they just don't have it. And as far as on the court, what I've seen from the Celtics is, first of all, they got to figure out that zone defense. They got to figure it out, because the Celtics, they not that tremendous at shooting threes. They not like the Miami Heat. They can't hit threes at a nice clip. They only can hit threes when they're hot, and they got to figure out how to get the ball inside, especially Jason Tatum. Nobody on the Heat, probably besides Jimmy Butler, maybe to a certain extent Bam Adebayo, can stay in front of him, take that ball in, go to the free throw line. I think Kemba Walker, the defense of Miami Heat has affected his play a bit, and they need Kemba Walker to drop 18 to 20 in order for them to win the game. They need that. We already know Jason Tatum's going to give you 18 to 25. We know Jaylen Brown going to do that, but they need Kemba Walker to do that as well. And far as like the coaching, I think Brad Stevens is a good coach. He's a good coach. I think Eric Spoelstra is better, but Brad Stevens is a good coach. I think the problem is with the Celtics, and I've been wondering this for the past few years, is it's like their roster is built weird. It's a weirdly built roster. They have a lot of wing players and a lot of point guards. And if you go up against a team like the Miami Heat, it's just not gonna work. You need a big man that's reliable, that can score and play defense. You need a point guard that know how to facilitate. Kemba Walker's not really a facilitating point guard. You need that, and you need a 3-point shooter. It's just they need to retool their roster, and I don't think Brad Stevens his job should be in jeopardy if they get eliminated. But I think next year, when they probably should be the favorites to come out the East, and he falters, and then should look at his job security. But I had the Heat in 7 as an analyst, and I'm going to stick to it.
Okay, so you still have the Heat. So we got 3 Celtics, 1 Heat. I think they play next on Wednesday, so there's going to be a huge gap in between that. I'm curious to see how that'll play out. But going into Game 4, who do you guys at least expect to take that game? Maybe this
Celtics.
is the bias in me. I'm saying the Celtics are going to blow the socks off them.
Celtics better win this game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to win.
I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think the Celtics will tie it up.
Yeah,
I
that's where I'm coming from too.
Okay. Yeah, I think this big break for them is going to do a lot of wonders for them. I really think that conversation in the locker room helped them a lot. And then Gordon Hayward now having more time to rehab, more time to get back into the swing of things. I think we're going to see a real big impact from him as well, even with his minutes restriction. But it's also huge looking forward to that now. I'm sure you guys have all seen the memes that Hayward doesn't care about the kids, but Hayward will stay in the bubble for the birth of his upcoming child. So that's good to know that the Celtics will have him pending NBA Finals, pending Game 7 of this series. I don't know when she's expecting, but he will stay in the bubble for that, which is pretty awesome for Celtics fans. But moving on
not
from...
so awesome for his wife, though.
Apparently, she agreed. I don't know. Maybe if it was a boy, he would have gone because of all that Daddy's Always Happy stuff. I don't know if you guys saw that. But
yeah, that was jokes. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, he's got like 6 kids now. He probably doesn't even care anymore.
Yeah, and they're like all girls. This poor guy just wants like a son, but he'll never get it. But moving on from the Celtics Heat, Stacey found a list earlier of the best players under 25 to build around. This list had, in order, Luka, Tatum, Booker, Ja Morant, and then at 5th, it was a tie between Donovan Mitchell and Bam Adebayo. I just want to kind of go around. Do you guys agree with that list? Would you move anyone up or around? Stacey, since you found the list, we'll start with you.
I think this is a pretty good list. I like this list. I think Luka, as what we've seen in playoffs and what we've seen in the past couple of years, clearly he's number 1 on this list. Because he's like a Swiss Army knife compared to other players. He can just do it all. Of course, Tatum does have a superstar mentality, which is negative in a way, but more positive than negative.
Mentality.
Yeah, he got to stop settling for step back threes. Can he stop doing it? Don't stop doing that, Jason Tatum. But yeah, I like him at 2. I think it could be a battle between Jason Tatum and Devin Booker for that second spot, because I think Booker can do more on the floor. He can pass the ball a little bit more. But this is solid list overall, and I'm glad that the NBA executives, they the one that came up with this list. I'm glad that they are paying attention to Donovan Mitchell, because we don't talk about Donovan Mitchell enough being a fantastic, explosive player. So I'm glad that he's on this list. But I like this list overall. But the funny part about this list is Zion is number 7. Zion, they keep giving Zion these accolades, and he only played 2 games this year. Like come on, let's calm down a little bit.
At least he's not number 2, Stacey. Could be worse.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm just glad he's not in the top 5. That was like the first thing I noticed. I feel like every list you see now has Zion like 1 or 2. So I'm just glad he's not there.
Yeah, good for them. But I like the list overall.
Okay, Mike, how you feeling about this list?
So Luka should be number 1. I'm good with that. Anybody who's almost averaging a triple-double, MVP talks, yeah, that's easy number 1. Tatum at 2, I'm okay with. Booker at 3, I'm okay with. I don't know. After this year's playoffs, I feel like Donovan Mitchell should be above Ja Morant. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's proved he can do it on a big stage. He's carrying that Jazz team. No Bogdanovich. That was like their second go-to scorer. So I mean, the fact that I understand they blew a 3-1 lead, but the fact that it went 7, he showed me a lot in this year's playoffs. So that'd probably be the only thing I have a real issue with. I might move him above Ja for now. So don't get me wrong. I like Ja. He's a very talented player, but for now. And then, man, I like Zion. I don't know. I might have put him above Bam. I'm gonna just be real with you, dog. I'm gonna be real. Just based off what I seen Zion do out of shape. Okay, keep that in mind. Out of shape. Played how many? 2 games? Like you said, like whatever it was, like 15, 18 games, whatever. And he was a problem. He was a monster, even undersized then. Not even getting plays drawn up for him, just scoring like he normally does off just rebounds and hustling. So I mean, I might probably put Zion above Bam and on my list, but that's about it.
So back to what you said like 20 episodes ago now. You're not worried about Zion getting too much gumbo?
Man, look, he might, but I always gotta believe that the athlete gonna do the right thing. When you got a chance to be as good as he does, I always gotta believe the athlete gonna do the right thing, man. I always gotta believe it.
Yeah, one of the notable. I do like this list. So I'll start off saying that I do like this list a lot. Bam, kind of high in my opinion, but one of the guys I'm very surprised that's not on this list is Trae Young. I would have thought he could have came in around 5. I'm not sure where he came in total on that list. Stacey, do you have it pulled up still?
No, that was they just gave the top 5. And they
Just the top
Zion.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested to see where Trae Young came in at. I feel like he would be close to the top 5. I would think. But you don't think so?
They said somebody that you can build around, and all these players that's on this list, they got that leadership factor, that stand-up guy that when they walk in the locker room that you know that you should listen to them. I don't think Trae has reached that level yet. I don't know if he's at that level.
You think Bam has though?
I think Bam is getting there. He's a step above Trae in that sense.
Okay.
I'll take Trae over Bam.
Thank you.
If I had to have one, I'd probably take Trae over Bam. But I see this as a top 25 best players in this 25 to build around, and I don't see the Caruso on here. So really, can we even take this list?
Yeah, that's weird.
Take this list.
That's
I don't see the Caruso.
You go ahead and build your team around Alex Caruso and see what happens.
Hey, first off, respect the bald eagle.
I respect Caruso, but come on, man. I ain't starting my team with Caruso.
Did you hear Caruso taking warm-up shots before the game, exchanging hair care tips with Ernie Johnson?
Yeah, I love Ernie.
Did you see at half when Caruso had to duck at half? They Photoshop some videos. Some white dude just going sliding through the air and slamming.
Man, it was Ernie. Was it Ernie?
Yeah, I think it was Ernie.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Oh my god.
But man, that's how you know this list wasn't made by Bleacher Report. If Caruso and Zion both aren't factors on that list, it can't have been made by Bleacher Report.
Just saying.
Anyways, NBC Sports, Stacey.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Ben, how you feeling about this list?
Yeah, I mean, I think the order's good. Everything's good. I agree with Mike. I could take Spida or Donovan Mitchell over Ja. And I would definitely take Donovan Mitchell and Ja both over Trae Young just because they've proven that they can do it at the highest level. Whereas Trae Young, I don't think all in all as a team, I don't know if the pieces around Trae Young are all that much worse than the pieces around Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, you've got Rudy Gobert, but I mean, John Collins is one of the upper tier power forwards in the league, and then you've got all these young guys around you. You've got shooting guards. I mean, he doesn't have many excuses heading into next year because they really have been trying to build around him, and he hasn't been able to get it done. And then the only other person that I'm kind of confused about, I'd probably take him over Bam in this tie split here. Karl Anthony Towns is still 24.
Is he?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I thought he was so much older.
We need to look at this list again. I assumed he was over 25.
I would say, although he hasn't been able to win, which was my argument against Trae Young being in here, he's leagues above Bam as far as skills at the position. Bam's definitely a much better defender. I'll give him that. But Cat's got the size over Bam. Cat's got the shooting, post moves, all that over Bam. So for me, I would take Cat in that split tie with Donovan Mitchell. But everything else in this list is perfect.
Yeah, I was just
like
saying
that.
Cat has to be in that 5. I thought he was over that age. Now that I'm looking at it, I was about to ask you how old AD was. It was like, I swear he was 25 for like 10 years.
Yeah.
he's been in the league for about 12 years. He's only like 27.
Right. But yeah, Cat definitely has to be in that. I would take Cat over Bam. I would take Cat over Ja right now. And then, yeah, Luka, Tatum, Booker, Donovan Mitchell, and Cat. That's a good 5 right there.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one. We'll move on to some other world news. This kind of blew it up when it found out. Bronny James posted on Instagram, I believe, his Instagram story of him smoking a blunt. LeBron was smoking the nugs. He was smoking another type of nug.
Oh my
How
God.
are we feeling about this?
I don't think it's that serious.
Hey, don't he
it's
live
definitely
in
not.
he live in Cali, right? He live in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
all good here. Yes.
Is there an age limit though? Is there like an age restriction in Cali? I don't know how that works there.
Nobody follows age restrictions when it comes to weed and alcohol. Nobody. You
All right,
A budding superstar trying to get D1 offers.
A budding superstar. I see what you did
okay,
there.
all right. Let me
Didn't mean to
be
do
that
on
guy.
purpose, but thank you.
Okay, Bronny shouldn't have been smoking on live when your dad is LeBron James and you're probably next up. You're about to get a D contract, but I mean, come on, dog.
Man, I talked about this. I talked about this on Carly and Claire Sports Show about him
Plug
doing
yourself.
this.
I was about to say, get that plug, dog.
on Carly and Claire Sports Show. This why I said in general. I don't mind him smoking weed as long as he don't make it a bad habit. Like, you got to be careful with that. Do it in moderation. I mean, how many of us had tried weed and alcohol before we reached 18? A lot of us have in this country, right? Between us four. But
I'm just laughing at Mike's facial reactions right now. He just keeps making a bunch of faces.
but my thing is what I said on Call You Play Sports Show. He has to realize that it's not all about him in a way. We all know who his dad is. And if he does these things, he put these things out there, he's not going to get in trouble necessarily. Because most will look at him as, typical teenager. But, when your dad's LeBron James and you doing this and he's trying to win the championship and he has a bad game or something or they lose or something, they can tie, how the media go, they can tie all that together. And, that's a lot of pressure on LeBron. So he has to be careful what he's doing and what he's putting out there. He has to be mindful of that. So that's all I gotta say about Bronny. Just be careful what you post. Be careful what you post. Just if you think about posting things like that, you gotta think outside of yourself. All right, what's this going to do, to my dad, and what's it going to do for me when I try to get these endorsement deals, go to college, et cetera, et cetera. So just be mindful of what you're doing.
Let me ask you guys this though. So obviously, yes, he is like a top tier basketball player for his age group. Yes, LeBron James is his dad. So obviously, I think he has some extra leeway compared to other kids in his similar situation. If LeBron James was not his dad, and say he's a sophomore, junior in high school, had some D1 offers going for him, do you think if it was another kid that did this and it went viral that he was smoking weed on social media, while we don't see that as a big deal, a lot of the older generation does. Do you think a normal player with not an NBA superstar as a dad would lose an offer versus Bronny James?
I don't think they would lose an offer. I think it's only as big as it is because of who it is. I mean, he's literally LeBron James Jr. I mean, like Stacey said, when you're in that family, no matter what you do, you can be a kid, you could be doing kid things, but at the end of the day, we watch these shows. We watch Undisputed and First Take, and they will take anything and try to use it against LeBron as ammunition or a way to bring down his character. I mean, it sucks, but it's just the truth. They'll find anything. So something as small as that, it's crazy. I was on Facebook around the time that happened, and I seen people commenting like, LeBron doesn't know how to raise his kids, and I'm like, what the like, you know what I'm saying? So look, when you're in a family as big as this, and you're the son of the biggest basketball player of our time right now, and you literally share the same name, it's gonna blow up no matter what. But if he was a regular kid from, let's say another player's son, I don't think they would lose an offer. I mean, come on, man. Kids, man. It is what it is. I don't think you should be judging them too harshly off of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stacey, Ben, what about you guys?
In my opinion, like he's a 15-year-old kid trying new things. It's really not that big of a deal. And what you said about it being another kid is kind of a moot point because if it was pretty much anyone else, it wouldn't have blown the way it did. And colleges and stuff like that wouldn't be getting wind of it. So it's just because it's Bronny that it's this big of a deal. I mean, he's one of probably millions of kids his age just doing new things, trying new things, having some fun. So I'm not one to judge. And coming at Bron's parenting skills is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would agree on that.
Yeah, if it was just another kid, it wouldn't have been a big deal at all. I think that's obvious. It just blew over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he probably just found JR's secret stash at the house. So
No,
if anything,
come on.
Hey,
I had
man.
to.
Love. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Man. But we'll move on from that. One thing we had in our Crown Hoops group chat a couple days ago, weird playoff superstitions that we as fans have. So what are some weird things you guys do? Everyone does it. Admit to it. What are some weird things you as a fan do to make sure your team wins? And if you don't do that thing, your team will lose. So, for example, I'll start us off. Whenever the Celtics have played in the playoffs, I need to wear a Marcus Smart jersey with a green Celtics hat. Needs to happen, and it needs to happen at the beginning of the game. Every time I do that, they win. The games we've lost so far in Miami, first half, didn't have it on in the first half of the first game. Second game, I tried to wear a Tatum jersey. Didn't work. Needs to be a Marcus Smart jersey and the green hat. Needs to be both. If we don't, we will lose. It is confirmed. Matt Huff, I think he said his was he needs to have gin. That may be another problem, though, Matt. We'll talk about that later.
I was
God. Oh, my God.
Mike, what is your weird fan superstition? And I know you have to have something good. Tell me what it is.
Hey, look, I don't have nothing crazy, weird, none of that. But there is one, like, mine is very, very simple. I can't miss a Laker game. Every time, I'm telling you, every time I miss a Laker game and, like, just try to keep up on it with my phone or some shit, we're getting fucking smacked. Like, we're getting blown out. We're getting beat. But it's like every time, as soon as I get home, turning on the TV, like all of a sudden, Rondo with a steal and from three, Bron, bang! I'm like, they just needed their boy in the room. That's all. So for me, man, I gotta be present. I feel like, if we're losing and I see it on my phone, I'm like, I gotta hurry up and get home because if I don't get home, I got people counting on me right now. So I gotta go. Mine is I just gotta be present. Watching the game, or we definitely done.
So you do get superstitious about it, right?
Yeah, like I gotta, like, man. When it's game day, get out. I need to get there. That's it.
I feel you. Like the other day, I think it was Game 7 of the Raptors. I made my dad wore a Larry Bird Celtics shirt in Game 6, where I think we won. I can't remember how it worked, but he wore a Larry Bird Celtics shirt and we won. He put it in the laundry, and by Game 7, it hadn't been washed yet. I made him take it out of the laundry and put that thing on. We were going to win, and it worked. That's all I'm going to say, guys.
That's it.
It's simple. Man. Just wear the right clothing, and your team's going to win. Stacey, what's your weird fan superstition?
I don't think I have a weird fan superstition.
Oh, come on.
I just got a little simple things. Like, for one, I don't, on game days, whether it's my football team, basketball team, whatever, I don't wear any gear at all. I don't wear any gear. Yeah, I feel like if I get too supportive, then I cast a bad spell on them. I be doing this with I have a favorite WNBA team, which is the Las Vegas Aces, and every time I support them or I show support, I tweet or I put my Aces mask on when I go outside or something, they always lose. They always lose every single time. I be like, yes, go Asia Wilson and get buckets, whatever. And then they lose. Every time I don't say anything about them, they win. So I got to be careful with that. So I just don't wear gear at all. And I'm like, Mike, I have to be in the room. I felt the same way when I would like watch the Lakers. Like they'll be up by like 22. I leave. I go get like my order or something. I come back. They only got a 2-point lead. I'm like, what the hell just happened? and only been gone for 3 minutes. So I got to be there. It's the same thing with the Rams too. Every time I'm watching, they will score a touchdown. When I leave, they allow 2 touchdowns. I'm like, what's going on? So those are my things right there.
Okay, so in this case, I know you have a Jason Tatum jersey. Don't wear that on Wednesday, please.
No, I don't know. I don't wear.
Cool. If you have a Heat jersey, feel free to throw that on. Heat hat, go for it. Tweet about them. Anyways, Ben, what's your weird playoff superstition?
Yeah, I mean, I got one of the clothes ones too. I got to wear a certain pair of socks.
This is what I'm talking about. Yes, This is the quality content we need.
And that was actually more so for when I was playing, because I played all the way through high school and before that as well. And I had to wear a certain pair of socks. Now I kind of off the socks thing, and it's more so like I gotta, like Mike and Stacey, I gotta be in the room, and I can't move. I don't move. I don't talk to anyone. I don't change the channel. I just sit there and don't move, barely breathe the entire game. Halftime, I change it. Commercials, I don't change it. I just feel like if I give up on my team in any way by like changing the channel or something like that, then they're gonna lose.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah.
I made
just
sure
picture, like being in the room with you. I'd be like, "Hey Ben, do you want a drink?"
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
no,
like
it's actually that's exactly how it is.
when the game is on, I'm locked in with them.
Yeah.
Now, when it's go commercial break, that's when I zoom to the kitchen. Something I gotta get a drink or something. Gotta get something to eat. Go to the bathroom. I'm taking a break just like they are. And then when they back, all right, we locked in.
Yeah.
I feel it.
No,
It's like
I
the
think
last
it's
5 minutes of the fourth too. I can't sit. I need to be on my feet.
Oh,
really
I'm
bad.
standing.
Yeah.
The last five.
Yeah. Especially if
Last
it's
5
close.
minutes of an NBA game, NFL, 2K, Madden. I'm up. Yo, it's time to get serious.
Anybody else do circles around the living room when it's close and it's a
I
timeout?
pace back by my couch. My mom hates that though. All right, so
I think it's funny how like real these perceptions are to all of us and to all fans around the world. It's like you're part of it. If you don't show up for the team, then your team loses.
That's exactly
I love
how
it though.
is.
I love the fans.
I love it too.
all.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people take it too far though. Like those type
far?
of fans, like punching the TV. Like you're breaking your
I thought you meant a
TV.
weird superstition. Okay.
I would never
Stalking the
break my
players.
TV. I would never break my TV, but let me tell you, when AD hit that shot the other night, I yelled out some things. I'm glad my kids were asleep. Trust me, because I was in here pretty. I get pretty. Man,
Do you ever wake the kids up?
I have. What? My wife will yell down here for me to be quiet. Like she will yell down because AD hit that shot, and I'm hitting every cuss word in the book. Dog. I'm just telling you. It was like I hit it. I swear.
Breakfast the next morning when your daughter's like, "Dad, what does that mean? What does this mean?"
Hey, look. AD hit the shot.
That's all they need to know.
That's all you need to know.
I can just imagine one of your daughters growing up to be like a Celtics fan, and you have
No,
to do
no.
that.
Don't even say that. Come on.
Oh,
Why would you even
wow.
Talking off, man.
say that? Yeah.
Nah, man. They already know it's Lakers and Packers in here, dog. Lakers and Packers. That's it.
All right. I respect it. If you have any weird fan superstitions, you guys listening, tweet us. I think it's CrownHoops Pod on Twitter. Let us know. I want to know like the weirdest thing. So far, I think the socks has it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like the socks.
Are these clean socks or dirty socks? Which one?
Yeah, I wash them. I feel like somebody came at me for that in the group chat when I was talking about that. I was like, "Don't worry, I washed them."
Okay. All right, that's a little bit beher than I thought. I thought it was like a socks you couldn't wash. It had the luck on it. You can't clean it.
I just imagine like dirty black.
Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, they started off white, now they're just gray.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. They're blue. But when I started off, like I said, it's more so about when I was playing. So it's like I got 3 games in a day. They're not getting washed, they're not getting changed all day. But like for the most part, it's more so the sitting still as a fan for me.
All right, I feel that.
Yeah.
We will move on to that. We will start with the hot take segment. So I'll pass it right over to Ben.
I mean, this is a good one, and this one's pretty blatant, pretty fueled by hate. But Isaiah Thomas, not the short one, the original,
the other short one,
The other,
the other short one.
The one who
There
got
were-
left off the dream team. The one who sounds like this. He said Kareem's the GOAT right now, but when it's all said and done, at the end of Bron's career, it'll be LeBron James will be the best basketball player of all time. Obviously, there's a very notable exclusion there. He's leaving someone out. Stacey. Is there some validity to what he's saying, or do you think he's just a little bit salty?
The more so the salt. He's definitely still salty out of this whole time. Definitely still salty. Of course, MJ is the GOAT. MJ is the GOAT. There should be no question about that. Now, I remember we did mention this before on the episode where Kareem sits. And right now, Kareem, he's arguable for 2 or 3. And that's going back and forth between him and LeBron. But this is obviously still saltiness from Isaiah Thomas. MJ is the GOAT. Kareem, I say he's 2. I give him 2. But I think especially if LeBron wins the ring this year, he's up there at number 2, and there won't be no debate after that.
Mm-hmm. So you're a big LeBron fan. Do you think like the second half of what Isaiah Thomas was saying was by the end of his career, it'll be LeBron James will be the GOAT? Do you think that's a possibility, or is it just going to be MJ?
Now, if LeBron, if he wants to be the GOAT, he got to get a ring with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
He got to get a ring with the Lakers. That'll be his 4th ring, third on another team. And he has to get that ring. He has to get that ring. Otherwise, I think that by the time his career is over, he'll finish at 2. But if you want to make it arguable for number 1, he got to win the ring.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. So, Michael, I'll ask you the same question. Is this just pure salt from Isaiah Thomas that he didn't make the dream team and, the bad boys versus Chicago, those kinds of clashes in the day, or is there some sort of truth to him saying Kareem's the GOAT right now?
Look, man.
Number 1.
Go against, an NBA legend, a guy who's been in the battles with some of these players. Look, it's definitely some salt. Let's not pretend there isn't. I'd be salty too if I was left off the dream team when I know I was the best point guard in the league, or at least 1 or 2, and I should have been on that squad. So it's definitely some salt. Like Stacey said earlier, we discuss Kareem's position all the time, and I think most of us had him either 2 or 3 or somewhere in that top 5. So I mean, there's a lot of people actually who consider Kareem the GOAT. They said he's the only guy to do it on every level. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say there's no truth to it, because I've seen a lot of people with that opinion that Kareem is the GOAT. He has the rings. He did it on the college level, did it in high school. Clearly the best player, one of the most dominant players of all time, the only guy that we can really say had an unblockable shot. I mean, to me, the GOAT is Michael Jordan. But that generation above us, not the Jordan 1, but right above them, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them said Kareem, but that's not my opinion. I think this is just Isaiah Thomas, obviously still a little salty. Remember, he was on the bad boy Pistons who used to beat down the Bulls. Yeah. So, he doesn't look as Jordan as all that unstoppable. Another guy, ironically, who doesn't have Jordan up there, Bill Laimbeer. Any surprises there? Another guy from the Pistons. Another guy who, they took down Jordan during those down years. They didn't have to worry about him when he was at his peak. So I get it. It's Detroit Pistons fans, man, players. They're always going to hate Jordan, but come on, man. Jordan's the GOAT. It ain't Kareem, but it's close. I get it. It's close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you. First of all, I have a ton of respect for Isaiah Thomas. His the game where he sprained or broke his ankle and came back and led them to the win against the Lakers, man, that was one of the craziest, toughest shows I've seen in a while. But I'll ask you the same question I asked Stacey: is what does Bron have to do to be the GOAT by the end of his career?
I think to really put himself even more in that conversation, I think he needs 2 rings in LA, man. I think 5 and 6. Okay, now we can start having some real talk, because he's gonna have all the accolades. He's going to be in first on almost all these type lists and whatnot. I don't think he has to reach 6 quite yet. Just the fact that he's been to, or if he gets there to 11, being 5 and 6 in finals. I mean, that's kind of crazy on a third different team with the Lakers. When most people think this is really their only year to compete for a championship. Not me, because I think we got another year, but that's a different conversation for another time. But to me, to really put him in there, I think he needs 5 chips to get him in that first spot, or at least that conversation where it's almost flip of a coin.
Okay, fair enough. Jordan, I mean, I feel like you won't have too much of a different perspective, but is this all just pure salt from Isaiah Thomas, or is there some sort of basis behind him saying Kareem's the GOAT?
I feel like in Isaiah Thomas's mind, he's definitely just like blocked out Michael Jordan. So like in his mind, Michael Jordan does not exist. That's the only logical explanation for this.
That ball dude.
Yeah, he's the gambler in Isaiah Thomas's mind.
Oh.
I feel like there's no. Yeah, Kareem is great. I would say easily top 5, arguably top 3. We've had these discussions before. I also think the whole GOAT conversation is completely subjective. You ask one person, it'll be completely different from the person you ask next. Everyone kind of has their own criteria for that, what they've experienced. There's obviously some bias and some fandom going into that as well. Personally, though, my GOAT is Michael Jordan. For LeBron to get into that conversation, I like Mike saying 2 more rings, and I would start considering it. I think if LeBron could get 2 more rings and continue to stay this dominant at the age he is, at that point, it would be really hard for me to say Michael Jordan is still the GOAT, even though it's so hard. Just, I don't know. Like, it's so hard picking a GOAT. I really don't think you can. Even at this point, it's arguable who's 1 or 2. You ask one person, they'll say LeBron. You ask another, they'll say MJ. But I think if LeBron gets 2 more rings, like Mike said, it'll be at the point where it's a flip of a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's so hard to compare eras too, and that's the toughest thing is that people have said this before, like Wilt was the GOAT of his era. I mean, Kareem was the GOAT of his era. LeBron's the GOAT of this era. I mean, it's really subjective, like you said. But no, I completely agree with all you guys. Isaiah Thomas just salty, and rightfully so. He deserved the dream team. I mean, shit. But I mean, that was the only hot take for today. So Jordan, I'll let you get back to it.
Awesome. We're gonna introduce a new segment this week. We kind of did it last week, kind of not, but we're gonna call it a segment this time. Introduce it. We're gonna call it the Keyboard Warrior segment. We're gonna have Mike White run that one. It's basically gonna be Mike finding some ridiculous comments made in social media, and there's a lot of them. If you guys have been in Facebook basketball groups, there are some whack jobs in there. But Mike, I'll let you take it.
Hey, look, man, I'm glad you used that word ridiculous to this, because that is what I'm about to give you some ridiculous shit right now. Okay, So look, here's what I found this week for our Keyboard Warrior of the Week. So first off, I'll start with the question. So on Facebook, I'm part of a group called Let's Talk NBA Basketball. This question was posed with these 5 players. Rank these shooting guards from 5th to 1st. So I'm going to give you the shooting guards. Then I'm going to ask you guys kind of where you got it at. And then I'm going to tell you what the hell I saw. So the shooting guards are Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson. Now, look, before I show you this person's comment, I'm going to ask all 3 of y'all one question. That's it. Stacey, who do you have first on your list?
Kobe.
Ben?
Kobe.
Jordan?
It's the only right answer, Kobe Bryant.
All right. So, Mr. Eric Lee, we're going to go to his comments today. I went in these comments because I was
interested. We got to post this and tag him.
I was looking
free
at
club
it.
for Eric.
Here is his list for the top 5 shooting guards right now. At number 1, my brother Steven will love this. He's got Dwayne Wade. At number 2, Allen Iverson. At number 3, Tracy McGrady. At number 4, Kobe Bryant. And at number 5, Ray Allen. Lord, I don't know what's wrong with this boy. I don't, there's no way, I'm sorry, in my opinion, there's no way you have Wade, Iverson and T-Mac above Kobe. I mean, to me, it's not really an argument. I mean, Kobe has 5 rings, Wade has 4, Iverson has none, T-Mac has none. T-Mac, you could make the argument at one point, maybe he looked like he was going to be better than Kobe, but at one point, I thought I was going to be Kobe too. It didn't happen, so I'm not going to talk about what didn't happen. I'm going to talk about what did happen. Kobe did this for 20 years straight. This is the most ridiculous list I've ever seen for top 5 shooting guards. He should be banned from talking basketball on Facebook anymore. Opinions, you guys let me know.
What is he based? What's he based
I don't care.
His ranking out of? Like, what's his criteria?
Here's a second.
I want to know that.
Second comment. Here's the second comment. I'm gonna just read it to y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go with it. He said, "Real MFers know that T-Mac was better than Kobe before he hurt his back. Wade is the all-around two-way player, and so is Iverson. This is why I put Kobe at 4." I mean, look, the T-Mac thing. I hear you with the T-Mac thing, because there was a time where people was like, okay, T-Mac is a little bit taller than Kobe. He could do the same things. But come on, bro. This is all-time ranking. Like, I know what could have happened again. I could have more head. Like, I don't want to talk about what could have been. Iverson compared to Kobe. Everybody likes to give me this flat, like, yo, Iverson was killing Kobe when they went against each other in the NBA Finals. Who didn't Iverson kill that was in front of him? The man averaged 35 on anybody. Like, come on. And don't forget, the Sixers lost that series 4-1. So, look, man, I'm not trying to be that guy. I know I'm a Kobe fan. You see the Mamba shirt. But Kobe's the best shooting guard of all time. It's not really a debate.
Yeah. How did they put Ray Allen in his argument but left out Jordan? You know, is this list going besides Jordan?
Okay. Well, the thing is, I think they were just going with those 5 players I named and ranked those 5.
Those 5, it's not even a question. And the fact that he said, did I hear you right that he said Allen Iverson is a better two-way player than Kobe?
That's what caught my attention. That's what caught my attention.
Come on.
Did anyone roast him in the comments?
I didn't even look. Look, I told you I was ready for this segment this week. I screenshot this like 4 days ago, and I was like, "Yep, that's my dummy of the week. I need that immediately because I don't get it." I guess he forgot about Kobe's 12 all defensive teams. I don't know.
I love it.
And Allen Iverson had what? Probably 0, right?
He might have led the league in steals. I think he led the league in steals a few times. That's about it, though.
Oh my God.
That was the part that stood out to me the most. But either way, I mean, this guy's clearly off his rocker. He's probably watched about 6 NBA games in his entire life. Probably a big Heat fan.
Yeah, I get the Kobe hate. There's a lot of people, like, before his death, a lot of people didn't like Kobe. I get it, but come on, man. You put Iverson above Kobe, T-Mac, and Wade. Stop it.
T-Mac ain't never been out the second round, first round, second round.
I think it's the second.
And he got 0 rings. Allen Iverson got 0 rings. The D-Wade, I'm kind of glad that he giving D-Wade his props. I think D-Wade gets forgotten just a little bit. We forget how great he was because LeBron just overshadowed him when he went to Miami. But
I want to hear this guy's all-time top 5 list. Really bad.
Yeah.
I'm scared to hear it.
I don't want to hear no more lists.
Alex Caruso, number 1.
Yes, sir. There you go. That's the energy.
Yeah.
But that's our keyboard warrior for the week, Mr. Eric Lee. Hey, man, shout out to you, dog. Look, it's okay. Everybody can have their own opinion, but ain't no way in hell Kobe 4th on that list. So that's all I got. Back to you, Jordan.
All right, we're going to end it as we always do with the mystery player debate, but we're going to do it a little bit differently this week. I'm going to let Stacey run it this time. Take it away, man.
I'm kind of glad that you gave it to me because I got tired of losing in these debates. I think I only got like 2 right. Everybody else got like multiple.
We got to start counting them.
Yeah, I counted mine. I ain't go that far. But anyway, here's the 2 players. Both of these players are at the big man position. All right. So player A, this past season, averaged 19.5 points per game. 9.7 rebounds per game. Shot 46% overall and 27.7% from three. Player B, 20.4 points per game. 9.5 rebounds. Shot 42.7% overall. 35.7% from three. So, who would you guys rather have? Player A or player B?
Question.
Yeah.
How many blocks they average?
Yeah, I want to know the defense.
And
stats.
assists.
Oh, the reason why I didn't put blocks because it wasn't that many.
Okay.
It wasn't
What
that
about
many
assists?
between two.
So these are big men.
Yeah, big man. I believe player A is around 3 assists. Player B is around 4.
Okay.
So big man, do you mean center or like power forward center?
Yeah, because at
Power-
9 rebounds, I would say power forward.
Power
Okay.
forwards? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to
And
take
this-
player B right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Player B.
I'm taking player B.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I'm
It's
taking
that
the stretch.
It's that 3-point percentage for me. Yeah.
Is it John Collins?
Player B is not John Collins, but
Nah.
it's not John Collins.
Player A might be John Collins.
Player A is
Nah.
not John Collins either.
Nah,
I
John
will
Collins
say-
can shoot.
I would say that player A is in the East, player B is in the West.
How
Memphis
many,
is in the West. I've screwed that up 3 times. So I just want to know.
No, I got it. I'm gonna make sure I look.
Question
All
for you. Is one of these players Julius Randle?
Which one is Julius Randle?
Ooh.
All right. Player B is Julius Randle.
No, it's not.
I was
It's
gonna
player
say,
A.
Player A
I thought he
is
was
Julius
shooting
Randle.
better this year. He let me
Player
down.
A. Player A is Julius Randle.
36% for three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
player B.
Player B is in the West. Power forward. This hint might give it away.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I'm gonna give you
wait.
the-
Don't give it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just gotta
Wait.
look at the
Is his
rosters one
team
more time.
was his team in playoff positioning
Yep.
heading into the bubble?
Oh, it's Danilo.
Nope.
Oh!
Danilo is small forward. I think Danilo is small forward.
Hold on there. Let me look one more time. 35% power forward.
Yeah. Shot 42.7 overall, 20 points, 9 rebounds.
Did
In the
his
West?
did his team make the playoffs?
Team made the playoffs.
Okay, it's not him then. Okay. Oh,
They
that's
made-
Porzingis.
Come on, Mike. Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
Ooh.
Mike, 2 for 2 this week, Mike.
That's
Yeah,
Porzingis.
Mike, you got them both. You swept it.
Hey, look.
It's Porzingis.
I made the right call.
Yeah. Go on Porzingis.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are closer stats than I would have thought,
Yeah,
though.
that's why
Oh,
I picked.
But it's because Julius Randle plays for
yeah.
the Knicks, and Kristaps Porzingis plays right next to Luka
I mean,
Doncic.
Julius Randle he's a solid player. He's
One
a
thing I
solid
know
player.
about Julius, if you give him the ball, he's gonna get some buckets now. He's gonna get some buckets.
Yeah, but I think what Ben was trying to say is like if you put Luka next to Randall, those numbers will go down, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm saying Julius Randle has a lot more opportunity with the ball in his hands than Kristaps Porzingis does. And Julius Randle honestly disappointed me this season because I thought because he's going to have so much opportunity in New York, he would blossom in that number 1 role because his last season with
Yeah, but I think what Ben was trying to say is like if you put Luka next to Randall, those
the
numbers.
Lakers, when he was looking for that free agency contract, he was looking dangerous.
How many people gonna uplift the Knicks and ball out the Knicks? Come on now.
It's not
It
possible.
wasn't happening.
That's fair. The Knicks
It's
are
not
too far gone. Not even
they-
Mitchell Robinson can save now.
Just get rid of James Dolan, man.
It's gonna be hard to do. You got $17 billion.
I mean, if we could pull together and get like 1% of it.
We wouldn't even get a percent. We'd be like,
I was gonna say we like 0.7% of the Knicks. Probably not even.
Just get the CrownHoops logo on their jerseys. That'll be the next step. That's our marketing plan. I think they have Squarespace now. We can outbid Squarespace.
Okay, bonus question here. Bonus question here. Let's talk about the Knicks. Why not? What do they have to do? I mean, they have Julius Randle, they have Mitchell Robinson, they have RJ Barrett. But what do they have to do in order to be competitive in the East? What do you guys think they got to do?
Finally get that first round pick, that first pick in the draft.
Yeah,
get some collateral you can actually move to bring somebody in. If you're not going to be able to bring in a free agent like they thought they were going to do last year with a cat room, then you got to hope you really get one of these top draft picks and trade for a free agent and convince him to stay. I think that's the only path. I think the hiring of Leon Rose was good for their front office. I think that'll get them in the door with more players. But like we said, as long as Dolan there, who's really going to willingly come there? So you got to trade for somebody and convince them that, the what's the word I'm looking for? The atmosphere or whatever is a lot better, and that we can build a championship team around you. At least that's how I would do it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, obviously, James don't want to side. There's nothing we can really do about that. I agree with you, Mike. As long as he's there, we're not going to really see any big free agency signings going to New York, the Knicks at least. Speaking of, what player could they bring in? They need to find like a leader, like a legitimate leader of a team, like a guy like Jimmy Butler that will take a team and turn them into something way better than they should be. They need a leader. That's what they're lacking right now.
Well, apparently they were this close to getting Kemba Walker last season, so
they were this close to everybody.
For them,
anybody with a name, it was that close.
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
If they
Kyrie.
can get like Chris Paul or someone like that, like Jordan said, a leader. But I think hiring Tom Thibodeau, was a good first step.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, you just need to get some actual players with playoff experience.
See, I think that before they even get some players, they need to move some players around too. Like I would
for sure.
definitely, if I was them, I would definitely consider moving Kevin Knox. Yep. I think they ruined Kevin Knox.
That's fair.
And drafting RJ Barrett didn't help. And I'll take RJ Barrett over Kevin Knox. So I think they should move Kevin Knox. Julius Randle, I think that they should at least consider moving him too.
Yeah. No,
they overpaid a lot of people in the last free agency.
Yeah.
They had so much money, and they were like, well, KD's not coming, Kyrie's not coming.
Yeah.
Shit.
And they spent
let's pay Taj Gibson.
Yeah. I was just about to bring him up. Let's get Taj Gibson and Bobby Portis both 3-year deals and see what happens.
Cash them out, whatever.
Let's split like $500 million between 4 power forwards. Let's do it.
And they tried to get Marcus Morris too until he told them no.
Don't they have Dennis Smith Jr. too?
Yeah, they got him to trade from Dallas.
Yeah.
I was really high on him until he went to New York.
Yeah,
I was not that high on him.
He's kind of falling off. He's got bounce.
You know who was weird with the Knicks? DeAndre Jordan. What the hell was he doing there?
Oh yeah,
making some money.
That was just weird.
Yeah, for real. Sitting on the bench.
That was just weird.
Just making a little money on the side. That's all.
That's enough Knicks. That's enough Knicks talk. That was the mystery player debate. Mike swept it 2 for 2. Player A, Julius Randle. Player B, Kristaps Porzingis. I think we all picked Porzingis over Julius Randle. So Jordan, go ahead and close us out.
For sure, yeah. I mean, Porzingis is just—he's a unicorn. But that's gonna do it for episode 46 of the Crown Hoops Podcast. We had the full crew this week of Mike White, Stacey Collier, Ben Okazawa. I'm Jordan Daly. We will see you guys next week because we're actually on a schedule again.
Yeah.